Story time. I haven't done this in a while, so it's kind of fun. Let me throw some socks and shoes on to make it more like Mr. Rogers or Mr. Say. You said. Uh, tell y'all a story, man. When I was in like the fourth grade, I was just talking to my dad about this the other day. I was in the fourth grade. I had gotten a bad grade. I had messed around and got myself an F. I wish I could laugh like Plies, by the way. He got the funniest laugh on the internet. Um, I had got a F, man, and I knew I was gonna be in trouble when I got home. Woo, woo! I knew it was coming. So my dumbass took the F and I made it an A. I penciled in an A. So I got home, I showed my parents the report card, and they was like, "Oh, what's the what's the marking on it? And these initials." I was like, "Oh, she just, excuse me, she made a mistake, so she fixed it." And they was like, "Oh, it's okay, no problem. Just have her send a new one home tomorrow." I was like, "Oh, okay, we'll do that. I have to send a new one home tomorrow." Whenever somebody's voice gets high pitched, they lying about something. So I go through school the next day, and I remember I was sweating. I mean, insert any movie where they're in the classroom and they're looking at the clock and it's just ticking away. Maybe it's Breakfast Club or something like that when they're in detention and it's just going so slow. Because I knew I wasn't going to talk to this teacher today. Like there was no way that I could possibly do it. So I leave school without the report card, and I get home and they're like, "Yo, where's the report card at?" I was like, she wasn't able to do it today. My bad. So they was like, "Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Just bring it home tomorrow." So in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of getting away with this. Like, this is working. And then finally, I get the report card and I have to bring it home, and I finally got to tell the truth. And one thing, I should have just made it a B. I jumped all the way to an A. But eventually, man, I was stuck. Like, I had no more lives to give. I had no more ways to finagle this thing. And I remember my dad sat me down. I think I got my ass whipped too, but he sat me down and we talked. He was like, "Son, you can't lie." And he's like, "Once you start lying, you can never stop. Like, you have to keep going in order for the lie to maintain itself. Like, you can't lie some here and then tell the truth here on the same subject. You're gonna have to keep lying and making stuff up to make this thing even believable, or just to keep it going." I learned a valuable lesson that day, and I'm not this. That's not to say since fourth grade I've never lied to anybody, but I've always come clean with it eventually, and I've always been able to face the truth, and truth has never made me crumble. So that's my story. And maybe something that's similar to it right now is I think a lot of people are realizing a lot of truth in their own worlds, a lot of truth on a lot of different fronts, a lot of different platforms, whether that be socially, whether that be personally. If the truth makes your whole world around you crumble, one, that's okay, because if it's not built on something that's stable, then things need to fall down. But you got to ask yourself, what was it built on, and how do you not let this happen again? So as we see all these things shifting and moving in our country, there's so many people, and I grew up in Iowa, so I have a lot of white acquaintances and friends, even who I have on social media, and there's a part of me who's like, "Oh, it's encouraging to see that they're actually seeing it now." I mean, we were out marching and doing stuff this summer. They weren't saying anything, but now they're like, "This is grotesque. How can people be lying to us, and how can all this be happening? I didn't see that this was happening in our world." Then what were you seeing? And what were your ideas and beliefs built on? And are you really willing to let go of all those things and start building upon truth? If anybody speaks truth and your whole world crumbles when that truth is spoken, then you need to do some soul searching. You need to figure out what's going on in your own little mind, in your own little world, and figure out why the truth is so harmful to you. And then once you maybe figure that out, whatever you build next, because there's always going to be an opportunity to build something after things crumble. What are you going to make sure that that's built upon? We've had enough of things being built on lies. I think now it's a good opportunity to build on truth. So that's it, man. Don't lie. You got to keep the lie going. And if you're going to build something, build it on truth. Truth is like a rock. You can stand on it or be crushed by it.